in the kitchen today. It's so much fun to have people in my kitchen and having them cook with me and create with me. We have some creative friends here today. I have
Christine Gravel-Reistenville.
and daughter
Katie Reistenville.
Katie Reistenville, who has the most wonderful smile. Ever since she's walked in the door, she's got that big, beautiful smile. And we're talking about spring. We've been waiting for spring. Katie, what's your favorite sign of spring?
The crocuses.
Oh, the crocuses that are out there that are beginning to come out of the grass. April showers. Christine, what's yours?
Warm sunshine.
Oh, the warm sunshine, the intensity of the sunshine. Well, me, it's pussy willows. Pussy willows that we found yesterday. It's like, you know what, that wanderer part of me, that gypsy part of me, when I see pussy willows, I know spring's here for sure, and Mother Nature has finally brought the nice temperatures here. So I have a bunch of ingredients here today, but before we do that, I want to let you know, and I want to let you two know, that Katie and your brother, what's his name?
Joshua.
Katie and Joshua are amongst over 2 million kids in families across North America, across the world actually, because we're in 30 different countries, that are my Juice Plus kids. So they have been on the chewables for, oh my goodness,
3 months at least.
3 months at least. I had to check back with Mom here. 3 months at least. Christine, why did you ask me about these?
They were taking run-of-the-mill supplements just to sort of top up their dailies, and I'm not a big fan of it because it's mass-produced and there's no sense of the quality. I know that the Juice Plus has quality ingredients in it, and I wanted them to, if they're eating something, to add onto their supplement, I wanted it to be quality.
And you know what's in this? Plain old fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
And these are in the chewables, so they're easy to digest. And plant-based, gluten-free, dairy-free, and just to give that extra dense nutrient quota for our daily running around and going crazy.
Yep. I just leave the bag on the counter and the family dips into it.
I heard hubby likes to get into
Hubby likes it. That's a big one. Like, hoo-ah!
Okay, so they were sitting there and he said, well, how many do I need to take?
And it's easy.
Fit, fast, and fun. Those are the recipes that I love to create, inspired by other cooks, inspired by other recipes, inspired by flavors that each person I work with likes. So we're going to get Katie and Kris to create a recipe of their own today. So this is the best of scratch cooking. Scratch cooking just meaning we're going to take all of these ingredients, choose some or all, and use them in another recipe. And this is actually a recipe called a no-cook donut hole. Raw uncooking, because you don't cook when you're creating raw food or raw recipes. And I'm not talking meats. I'm not talking those kinds of things. I'm talking about nuts, seeds, grains, and dried fruits, and things that don't even have to turn on the oven over there. So, first of all, what we're going to do is we are going to, oh, and before I forget, we are going to be giving away this beautiful book that Christine has written, collaborated with 29 other writers. Women, men, both?
Women.
Women. And tell me, what inspired you to write this book?
My personal journey, and then realizing that it was a fundamental journey that happened with pretty much everybody, but especially women, on stepping into their power in relationships, owning their inner wisdom, and also doing what you're put on this earth to do.
I love the name. Ruby Red Shoes? That is so cool. Empowering stories on relationships, intuition, and purpose. And one of you out there is going to win it. What do you have to do? You have to like this video, share this video on your timeline, and if you haven't already, like one or both of our pages. I'm your Better Living Coach, and Christine's is?
Mine?
Ruby Red Book.
Ruby Red Shoes.
Ruby Red Shoes. So go there, find us, and hey, you may be a recipient of this book. I can't wait to get in it. She brought me one too. And with them?
Yeah.
I've actually put them in some boiling hot water, purified water that I have purified in my purifier, and I've let it soak to soften them.
That smells good.
I
Because
know.
normally you would put raisins in.
Yeah, and they're dry and they're
They're
really
dry.
hard.
Well,
But we need the juiciness of these raisins to help as a binder for our bites. Now these are cranberries. So I'm going to give you the choice to do one or the other. But what we have to do first with these guys is actually strain them. So I'm going to strain the water off so we can use them just like this. Do I throw that water away? Heck no. I'm going to use those in other recipes. I can use it as a sweetener in cake recipes, in other cookie recipes, of sweetbread recipes, or even smoothies. And the recipe that I have actually calls for dates. And I do the same thing with the dates to make them a little softer. So I've kind of combined the two waters here. I probably won't use it in the next day or so or the next week, so I'm going to pop it into containers and put it in the freezer. Use maple syrup. And I know, of course, where this came from because I have friends that just happen to be connected to this recipe that have their own maple sugar productions. So we might want to use that as a sweetener.
What about stevia?
Stevia, we could use stevia. If
Okay.
you're using a liquid, you use a minute amount.
Yes.
You're not going to use the same thing as on the recipe. You're just going to sweeten it up. But really, you don't even have to use stevia because the sweetness in the raisins or the cranberries are going to be quite prevalent. And in some of the other things too, like the sweetness of the nuts in the almond butter. The sweetness of the coconut, if you're using coconut flakes, okay? The other thing you can use too is you can use applesauce. Applesauce or some kind, I mentioned that I did a pear puree here, but you can also use an applesauce in there. And either the little containers or make your own. That just depends on what your time frame's all about.
How about banana?
Oh, banana's wonderful.
Okay, that's a
Banana's
good one.
absolutely wonderful. And I think actually that's where this recipe originated from. It had bananas in it. Hey, like I
So
said,
really-
we're scratching. You can make your own recipes. Now, if you want, if you prefer, we can put the gloves on. What do you think? Yes? No?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. I'm going to do this. And they're way too big, so I'll show you what we're going to do with it.
Not me.
Nope.
Nope.
All right. Yeah, they're really big.
Okay.
We're going to do this.
There we go.
Finger there. We're just going to put her down
There
so
we
she has
go.
something here. Because we're actually going to get your hands into this stuff.
Ooh.
I'm going to give you a bowl here and a bowl here. So what we need to start off with is we have some raw pumpkin seeds here. We have some raw sunflower seeds. Now either of these can be toasted as well, as long as you do it yourself and don't add any extra oils. You really don't need the extra oils in it. We have some walnuts here. Now some people don't prefer putting the nuts in it. Macadamia nuts are absolutely to die for to put in these recipes. And I have a bit of walnuts in here. I have already some crushed pecans. This is just already, and now I purchased it like this. I actually didn't do it myself. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. We have sesame seeds here. Look at these little guys. Some of them are toasted, roasted, and some of them are not. Okay, what's in here?
I know what they are. Yep.
No. It is hemp hearts. Hemp hearts are a great source of protein. If you're vegan, vegetarian, or just want that extra protein, you could actually put that in your shakes. Now, we tried some shakes earlier. Uh-huh.
Yeah, vanilla
Yeah.
and chocolate.
Yes.
And,
And?
they're really tasty, actually. And you were mentioning they could be
Agreed.
used as a meal supplement.
Absolutely. You can
And-
use them as a meal supplement,
Yeah.
but that's going to be our secret ingredient in our cookies today.
Oh, good.
Okay?
No.
I tried them earlier, and again, you can eat these at any time of the day if you just want to have a munch, if you're dashing out the door. And as a bit of a gypsy, I actually keep them so that I have some when I'm driving.
Ah.
If I don't, then I'm going to be craving something that I shouldn't be eating.
Right.
Okay?
So you could freeze them
Oh,
too,
gosh,
right?
yeah.
Just grab and go, put
Yeah.
them in a little container or whatever.
Yes, because
Okay.
I love them frozen too.
And they're
Those are those
tiny.
cookies. They're tiny. They're small. They're just a bite size. She had a few of them. That's okay. I want to see you eating those kinds of things, and I'm sure your mom does too, because our busy lives, whether you're that age, or this age.
Well, and at this age, I mean, they're
growing.
consuming.
Yep,
They're
and they're
eating a lot.
growing, the energy and so forth. So
Yeah.
that's where this kind of came from.
A quick question on nut-free options, because as we know, some people have kids and they cannot bring nut
Right.
products to school, so you can customize this.
You can
right?
absolutely customize. You can just do the seeds like the sunflower, or just do the pumpkin seeds, or a combination. There are quite a few sesame seed allergies out there as well.
There are.
So you leave out the nuts area, and then this is an almond flour. They call it almond flour. It's really an almond meal. And then pop in these, and you're still getting dense nutrients from every single bite.
Plus the sweet.
Plus you get the
From
sweet in
fruit.
here that you really don't need anything else for sweetness.
Right.
Because I didn't put any sweet in those cookies.
Oh, they're actually really sweet.
They're really good.
Yeah.
And it already has the coconut in it. Now, as a binder, we're also going to need a butter. So this is an almond butter, but you could also use a coconut butter. Not coconut oil, but coconut butter. So coconut butter will take and help smooth out and keep the donut balls together. So we don't want them falling apart, right?
So then an alternative butter for nut-free?
Coconut butter.
Coconut.
Coconut
Is that
butter, not coconut oil. That's
Is-
not considered a nut,
Okay.
okay? Because that is a tree.
It's technically a fruit.
It's a fruit. Yep, you're
Ah.
absolutely right. Yeah, see? We got some wise women here. Okay, so the other thing you can do if you feel like it is you can use a gluten-free oatmeal mix. Now, some of you out there watch me in the other videos, and I do my own mix-up. This is an instant gluten-free oatmeal, and then I put things in it like maca powder. There's hemp hearts in here already. So I can combine some of this in my raw recipe as well, because it is tiny flakes. You don't want to use the larger flakes because it's just too chewy without it being cooked, okay?
I'm getting hungry for breakfast. Just with that.
As I said, I believe in a dessert for breakfast.
Yeah, okay, good. I'm hungry.
I had many in my family that wanted to have dessert for breakfast every day, and it wasn't the healthy stuff either.
Oh,
So I have a blend of spices here. You can have all of these spices in your pantry, or you can have a cinnamon blend, which I have here, and it's available in my marketplace as well. Just ask. This one was inspired by Scandinavia. And really, you just want to use a level teaspoon. That's why the container is small. Smell that quickly, because it's very concentrated.
that's awesome.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
good. So we can use that as a spice in there too.
Okay.
All right? Or, one of the other things I like to do, orange oil.
No way.
But only oils that are approved for consumption.
Gotcha.
Don't use any oil out there, because if you do, you may be ingesting oils that have other additives to it. So, specializing in whole food nutrition, I watch. And I read the ingredients, and when I go shopping, I make sure that I'm getting what I want, what I need, not what I don't need. So just a couple of drops of this in a batch, oh my goodness, is so, so good. Now I did mention secret ingredients, and we have a chocolate and we have a vanilla. How about chocolate?
Yeah.
Do you know, I started to
I'll concede.
Yeah, you can see the chocolate. The chocolate girl's gotta have her chocolate.
Yeah. It's true.
Listen, when I went to Costa Rica, I learned a whole lot more about chocolate that I never knew before, and this is what I brought back.
Cocoa beans.
This is the cocoa nib. This is pure 100% chocolate.
What?
Yes, ma'am. Smell
Wow.
that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this
Oh,
is
that's so
coarsely
good.
ground chocolate. It starts off as a bean.
Yes.
It's roasted or it's dried. It's dried in the sun where I was. And then it is, it's the cacao nibs. And we can get those, and they're chopped up, and that is raw chocolate, okay?
Wow.
That chocolate, because it's been dried by the sun, is still considered raw. And that chocolate to be made into something like this beautiful bar that you can see I have been, look girls, I can see I have been using it.
Yeah. Yep.
There is no sugar, no additives, nothing else. And this is a coarse grind.
So that's just a hunk.
That is a
Yeah.
hunk like. It's like, come on, it's so good.
I wish we had smell-o-vision because it just smells so good.
On my Facebook page, Your Better Living Coach, through my videos, you'll actually see my interview there with the chocolate lady. But what we need first is we need 4 cups
Oh.
of whatever, not the raisins and not the cranberries, but of any of these things that you see here.
All right.
The sunflower seeds, the pumpkin seeds, the nuts if you like them, the oatmeal, the sesame seeds, the almond flour. It's almonds, just blanched almonds, just crushed very finely, and then some pecan dust.
I'm going
This
to eat a
is
cookie.
your scratch recipe here. So Mom's going to have a cookie on the oatmeal ones, and you just take and scoop out what you want. We need 4 cups. This is 2 cups. Now you can see that my utensils aren't always brand new. This one is, but this one isn't. You can't even hardly see the measures on it anymore. This has been around for, I'm not telling you how many years. A long,
best kind of-
long time.
Best kind of tool. Once
Okay, you can be generous because we need 4 cups of these. Okay. Generous. She's choosing walnuts and she has chosen sunflower seeds. Some of the crushed pecans, or pecans. I was in Georgia where they grow them and I called them pecans and someone said pecans. So the next time I said, okay, I'll say pecans and they said no, pecans.
Potato.
Yes, the tomato, tomato. That's okay. Messes are allowed. However you cup, so you're going to need 2 of those big cups. All right.
All right.
Now we still have some of the other things here. Yeah, isn't that fun? It's kind of looking like a volcano here. Look at that. Awesome. Don't. I need another whole cup of that. We might get a little bits of everything. So one recipe would actually be taking 4 cups of this. Almost there. Put it in here and give it a whirl. It's going to make some noise, but it won't be a long time. It'll just be enough to just to bring it down to a nice mealy. Just makes it easier after. Just about all the same consistency. So we're just going to toss that in there.
Wow, that really brought it down into a
Yeah, it makes it into a manageable
big time.
amount. Okay, so now what we do, throw the mess in there. We're going to take the raisins and we're going to blend those down too. Now the dangerous equipment over there so I don't kill somebody.
It got pulverized.
It did get pulverized, look at that.
So the water in there really,
It just helps to make the paste. Yeah, you gotta have the water.
because
Gotta have a little bit of the juice.
Cranberry.
it's got that juice and it's just coming out nicely. Nice.
That's
a good tip.
water. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Okay, now I promised the secret ingredient, so I'm actually going to put a half pouch, which is one recipe that you would put together into a shaker.
It really
A
is
shake.
powder.
Yep, it's powder. So I put about half of it in there, and we're just going to take and work that in.
Sort of looks like hot chocolate.
You know what? It smells like. Can you smell the chocolate?
Yep.
Yep. So we have high quality chocolate in here. You have plant-based ingredients, so these are really a super. I need you to get in there with your little mitten hand and squish.
So is this a
Squishy.
no-cook recipe?
This is a no-cook recipe. So
These
this
are-
one is an
yeah.
almond
Yeah.
cookie.
Right.
Not quite the same
This
because
feels
it.
so weird.
I know.
But this was no cook as
Fun
well.
though.
No, this one is a cooked one.
Ah, so this is no cook.
This is a no-cook
That's
one.
even better.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
So I will actually post, if you're part of my Tasty Testers group, I will be posting both of these recipes, just scoop it up from the bottom, in the file section of our secret group. And if you would like to be a Tasty Tester, well, just give me a thumbs up, like, and share this page or this video, and you will get an invitation to be one of my Tasty Testers. Canada and
Yes.
US only. So we've just kind of worked that around to make sure it's nice and moist. Now's the time to get in and make the balls. So all I have here is a scoop for Christine, and she's just going to put it in her hand. She's just going to roll it, firm it up a little bit. You can pop these in the freezer, and they're great just to pull out because it takes no time at all.
Can I eat them fresh?
Of course you can
Yeah,
eat them fresh. So why don't we do that? Why don't we get one each? And then go cheese. No. Cheers. All right. Cheese.
All right.
You can do cheese too. You've got such a great smile. You can do cheese anytime. All right.
All right.
Now's the
Taste test?
taste test, the time.
All right.
One for you, and one for me in
go.
honor of you.
Cheers.
Cheers. So while we're talking with our mouth full, we're going to say bye-bye. Don't forget to share, and you may be the winner of this beautiful book, Ruby Red Shoes. Take care. See you next time. Be creative.
Bye.